All right, I do believe we are once again live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Yankees Live to a Chitty Chatty Bang Bang. Just a little live 1 hour gun chat where I can have a conversation with my viewers and my viewers can converse amongst themselves over in the live chat. You don't even have to pay attention to me if you don't want to. You can just talk with other like minded individuals over in the live chat. That's what this is for. It's just a little break in the day so people can have someone, of common interests to speak to. A lot of us don't have that in our day. So that's what it's here for. Feel free to chitty chat amongst yourselves over in the live chat. You can also chat with me if you want to actually listen to me. But I do ask you put at the Yankee Marshal in front of every comment or question that you direct at me. That way I'll see it. If you put that at the Yankee Marshal, like it says in the feed up there in front of it, I'll see a red box pop up, and that'll let me know you're talking to me. So I do ask that of you if you want to speak to me. The other thing I ask if you want to speak to me is that you do not repeat questions or comments. My chat jumps around because when people do super chats, it jumps to the bottom. So I have to find my way back up to where it was. If questions and comments are repeated, that makes that very hard to do. So do not repeat comments or questions. That is something the moderators will get on you about. There's very few rules in here. No racism, no homophobia. And I'm not saying that you can't say something jokingly racist or homophobic, but just no homophobia or racism that are just, ill intended. And no repeating questions. And don't piss me off. That's the third ambiguous rule. I'm kind of like the ATF. Don't piss me off. It's up to me. But other than that, like I said, don't repeat questions. So I will try to answer all your questions in your comments that you put in there, even if you don't repeat them. So I'll try to get to them. If I can't, I apologize. I never get to all of them just because it's too easy to miss something. But I will try to get to most of them. So if I don't get yours, I apologize. If you've got a question or a comment you definitely want answered, something that you don't want to wait on for me to find it, or you just want to donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, or you want to get an entry in the friend drawing, which will be tomorrow probably, unless something comes up I don't get the list ready. But I usually get the list ready about 4 p.m. on the first of the month. So the drawing should be tomorrow. Sometimes it's on the second. So tonight is actually the last chance you have of getting an entry, unless you're like a patron supporter. If you signed up for patron tonight, you would have a chance. But this is the last chat where you'll have a chance to get an entry. So to get an entry to the friend drawing, you have to donate $4.99 or more, and you will get an entry for every $4.99. Like if you donate 20, you get 4 entries through a super chat to the Pets and Vets program. And at the beginning of the month, like I say, we will choose a name. Now, if you just do a super chat, regular old super chat, doesn't matter how much it is, $2, $20, I will answer it the same. I don't give preference to higher amount super chats as far as answering them. It's just if you donate $4.99 or more, you get entries into the friend drawing. So the drawing will be held, like I said, probably tomorrow. The winner gets to be the friend for the entire month. Today's Danny's last day as friend of the month. And then also, not only do they get that great honor of being the friend, they also get to spend a gift certificate worth up to $800 wherever you want. You can pay off credit cards. You can get manicures, massages. If you're in certain parts of the country, you can get a prostitute. I don't care what you do with it as long as it's legal. If you're here, I'll give you an $800 gift card to the herbery and you can buy all the pot you want. But you spend it how you want. So with that all being said, I'm going to go on over here to the chat, see if there's any questions or comments coming in. Usually takes a while for them to start rolling in, especially when we do 5 o'clock chats. People don't like the 5 o'clock chats as much. Eric Harry Schnauzer donated to the Pets and Vets Fund. Got an entry here for the pets and the vets. Hope you're staying cool. It's very cool in here right now. What the fuck was that noise? Did anybody else hear that? Was it just me? But it's very cool in here right now. It's 70 degrees, 35% humidity. So, of course, I'm in the gun safe. Outside today, it's only 74 degrees, which means down in the city, it's between 84 and 90 degrees down there, but it's only 74 up here. So it is not hot outside at all. In fact, it's a nice day to go down to the shooting range or ride the dirt bikes or the four wheelers or something. Of course, they were doing it all day yesterday. My side yard looked like a motocross rally. I showed that in the on Instagram. But other than that, yeah, I'm staying very cool. It was very nice. It was. We didn't even have to have the air didn't even run all night last night. Once it got to like 10 o'clock at night, the temperature dropped enough that the air didn't even kick on again. Um, After Harry Schnauzer, we have another super chat from, let's see, we got Harry Schnauzer, and then we got Danny. Kind of been wanting an SKS Type 56. Saw one for $500. Dang, I remember getting one in a gun show in the 90s for $80. Yeah, they went up a lot. I used to be involved with buying them in bulk. Not involved, but I was just a kid where the adults were buying them in bulk. I remember many a day in the garage hanging them up and spraying them with brake cleaner and stuff to get all the cosmoline out of the guns and then selling them off. You buy them in bulk, you get them for like $40 each, and then you can turn around and sell them for $100. So, let's see here. Where am I at? Let me go over here to the live chat. High-end Kimber versus Dan Wesson. Well, I think Kimbers are really, really nice 1911s. I've always been a fan. And especially I think that they are more adventurous than most other companies as far as what they do with their 1911s. Like they will make models with like a carry grip and and an RMR included and, compressor sight heights and all this other stuff. Nice different patterns on the slides and different looks and finishes. And they make a good quality gun. Now, I know some people don't like Kimber when they say stupid things like, I've seen twice as many Kimbers fail as I have this blank brand. Well, yeah, but I guarantee you Kimber probably sells 10 times as many 1911s as that brand. So if you're only seeing them fail at twice the rate, but they sell 10 times as much, that means they're 5 times as good. It's just basic math. Most people don't understand the basic math. So, there you go. Let's see here. But I love Dan Wessons too. Dan Wessons are probably the nicest semi-custom gun you can get. As far as just like well-made guns, Kimber's probably out of the production 1911s, probably one of my favorites. Other than Dan Wesson, simply because of the things they offer and the quality of their guns. I guess it's once again safe for women to be alone with Bill Cosby. I guess so. I haven't read the thing, but I guess he got his conviction overturned. But he's still, for the rest of his life, he's Bill the Rapist Cosby. So, got a super chat coming in from Frosty Deegs. I don't know what that means. 9mm Kimber, and I want to convert it between 9 and 10 millimeter, depending on what I was doing. Kimber said I can't because they don't sell the slide. Is that true? Well, yeah, because you don't convert. Most guns don't convert from 10 millimeter to 9 millimeter because you'd have so many different things. Your extractor would be different and everything. Well, I guess unless you got like even then you'd still need to change your extractor. A conversion barrel, I guess, could maybe do it, but I don't know if they could compensate for the difference. I guess they could. They should be able to, but yeah, they're just not set up. That's like saying, I want a car that's got a 4-cylinder in it for when I want to get good gas mileage, but I want to be able to switch it out to a big block V8 when I want to go fast. Yeah, that's just not a thing. It's kind of like that. Thoughts on shooting and owning 7.62 by 25? You do you. I don't give two shits. I think I made a mistake on getting a Shockwave in 12 gauge versus getting a Mossberg 88 with a cruiser handle in 12 gauge. What do you think? Nah, I think they're fine. I think you're fine. As long as you got that little hand strap on the front end, you're fine. I like them. I do like my double pistol grip Remington. I forget what that thing's fucking called, but it's 2 pistol grips. It's pretty nice. But you don't have it's not as short as the Shockwave, so. Let's see where I'm at. I'm trying to find out where I went. Oops, it just jumped. When Bill Cosby's son Enos was murdered, the LAPD contacted Representative Maxine Waters to get Cosby's phone number. She refused to give it to them and told them to contact Essence magazine. I did not know that. I don't know why I would have known that, but I didn't even know his son got murdered. Enos, that was really his name. Are the Taurus 605 357 mag a reliable weapon? Do you have any experience with them? Yes and yes. Cosby would be like a kid in a candy store at the morgue, probably. Well, it'd have to be freshly dead. I don't know if he likes corpses, but after watching your video, full size versus compact, does that include revolvers? If so, why are Snubbies so cool? Snubbies are just cool because they look cool, but still, I believe the same thing. If you can carry a 4-inch, carry a 4-inch. If you can't carry the size of the 4-inch, well then carry a 2-inch or Snubby. But still, same rule applies. Carry as much gun as you can carry, and then start compromising from there. Don't start with a compromise. Start with the most gun you can carry, and then work your way down, if you have to, not just because think you should. A lot of people think that they should carry the smaller gun, or that there's no way I'll carry the bigger gun, and they never even try. And it's really easy to do. I've always found barrel length don't make that much of a difference. Let's see where I'm at. I think I'm out of questions already over here. This might be a short chat today. I might run out of questions early. Dan Wesson versus Wilson Combat. Well, Wilson Combat's going to be a little nicer than the Dan Wessons, especially if you're wanting something more tactical. Dan Wessons, like I say, are still like the top of the line as far as production goes and quality, but they're also pricey. Often you can get 2 Kimbers for what you pay for a Dan Wesson, but same thing with Wilson Combat. You can get 2 Dan Wessons for what you pay for a Wilson Combat. So, or 4 Kimbers. And as far as performance goes, I think they're all going to be about in the same level performance-wise. What's going to make the difference is features and build quality. But not the quality that makes a big difference, but quality like, boy, I really like the way they do the ridges on the top, or boy, I really like the way they do their slide serrations, or man, they really do a good job on their grip serrations. Things like that. And man, I like the way they do their mag wells. Stuff like that's going to make the difference between the big guns and the little guns. But performance-wise, if you took it to the range and shot, 10 for 10, you'd probably get, if you were skilled with the gun, you'd probably get basically the same score with all of them. And have the same reliability with all of them. Just some of them wouldn't have, but like if you wanted different features, like an RMR and suppressor sights right off the bat and better grips and stuff like that, that's when you start seeing differences of which one you would want. A lot of people would argue that having the Nighthawk or the Wilson Combat is worth it to have the best gun you can have. And then other people would say it's way better to have 4 Kimbers than have that. Because if shit ever hits the fan, the 4 Kimbers is going to be worth more than the Dan Wesson, even though they're the same retail. The Wilson Combat, even though they're basically the same retail. Because if you have to turn over, like let's say you buy one gun, you got $4,000 to spend. Let's just say we'll make this as a little math problem here. If you've got $4,000 to spend, if you go out and buy a $4,000 1911, well, you've got the same amount invested as if you go out and buy 4 $1,000 1911s. And let's say they all go up 10% in value. Well, you still got $4,400 in value. Where the difference comes in is if suddenly I need a new transmission in my car and I have to come up with $1,000. Well, if you've got 4 Kimbers, you sell 1 Kimber. And even if you take a little loss on selling it, you still get the money you need because, you were able to sell 1, and it's pretty easy to find a buyer for 1 Kimber. But if you just have the $4,000 Dan Wesson, well, then you have to be like, well, or whatever, not Dan Wesson, Wilson Combat, you have to go, well, fuck, I need $1,000. I'm going to have to sell this gun. you're probably going to take a bigger depreciation. You're going to lose more of your money because let's say you take a 20% depreciation selling a used gun. When you sell the Kimber, you get $800 back. You lose $200. When you sell the the Wilson Combat, you're going to take that same 20% depreciation. You lose $800. So you've lost $600 more right off the bat from your investment, and you have less money overall, and it's harder to find a buyer for that $4,000 gun. So that's why you're going to have to take a bigger cut on it, because it's easier to find a buyer for one gun for $1,000 than it is for one gun for $4,000. So a lot of people would make the argument it'd be better to buy 4 Kimbers. And if shit hit the fan, it would definitely be better to have 4 Kimbers than one Dan Wesson, or one Wilson Combat. Let's see, where am I at? I've been carrying that little G43. I got it to gun show. It's snappy, but shoots well from one hand. Well, yeah, they should. They're good, decent, reliable gun. Jacob Blake, the idiot who sparked the Kenosha riots, had warrants for sexual assault, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. No one should have protested the cops shooting him. Jacob Blake. Which one was that? I've lost track of who's who and which one got shot under what circumstances. But it's still, I will not put myself in a position where I say, okay, the cops just went up on some guy who wasn't doing anything in the street, harassed him, and then shot him. I'm not going to say that's good, even if I find out later that, oh, he got arrested for domestic violence once, or he had a warrant for disorderly. No, he still didn't commit a crime at that time when they were interacting with him. And none of the crimes he did commit are punishable by death. So still not good at right in shooting him, period. There was no justification in it. Now, if they're justified in shooting, like that guy that was trying to get back in his van and all that other stuff, well, then they're justified in shooting, regardless of what his criminal past is. A criminal past does not give cops right to shoot you and then them just say, well, he was a bad guy. No, they have to be justified in the moment to actually use deadly force. And if they're not, they're not. You don't get to say later that, well, he was arrested when he was 17 for blah, blah. Who gives a fuck? Were you arresting him at that time when he was 17 and shot him then? Or were you arresting him now and shot him? What are your thoughts on shoulder holsters, and what about vertical versus horizontal? I don't like shoulder holsters personally because they give me a headache. At least the ones I've had do. I've thought about trying some of the nicer ones, the newer ones that are more comfortable looking, but I haven't tried one. As far as vertical versus horizontal, I would definitely want vertical. I don't like the whole notion of flagging people behind me all the time. If I ever have to draw my gun under duress, not only am I flagging people behind me, but I'm going right through one of the very delicate parts of your body right here with my barrel. So don't want to do that either. So I would rather have the vertical holster so that you can pull upward and out instead of having to pull this way and out. Because to avoid most of the problems with this, you're not going to avoid the problem of flagging people behind you, but you're going to have to come with your barrel downward, which is a weird angle, and come up. And that just isn't natural. This is far more natural than this. I got no questions. I don't know it all. I hope I haven't lost curiosity. Yeah, you never know. Sometimes I'm not that curious. Depends on the day. If you get arrested, should you talk to the police? I've been watching ASP and I'm wondering if I'll get the jail now. I'm worried I'll get the jail now. Generally, no. If you're a person of interest in anything, no, don't speak to the police. Wait till you speak to a lawyer. I mean, if the police come by and say, hey, did you see some guy run past here? You can say, yeah, or no, or whatever. You can talk to the police. It's not like, it's just if you're being arrested, don't answer any questions. Wait for your attorney to answer your questions. Anything you say, even if it's an investigation, like you've done something and it could or could not be illegal depending on the circumstances, The police, when they're speaking to you, you say, simply because of the liability at risk here and how things can be used against me that are not negative, I am going to reserve all comment until I speak to an attorney, and I'm sure you can understand that. Well, that's basically all you got to say. With the 2020 and 2021 plus and violence in higher numbers, do you see more reason to carry high capacity rather than 357 mag, 6, 7, 8 shots? Not really, no. Unless there's special circumstances, like you're going to a rally or something that you know could turn violent and there might be a lot of attackers. Well, then, yeah, but that's circumstantial. And that's always been the case. You have a carry rotation because you have guns that are better suited for certain different times and needs, and that's what you choose. So that's always been the case. But generally, no, you're not going to need anything more than the minimum. And you probably aren't even still going to need that. Because your chance of using your gun to defend yourself really hasn't gone up much. All this violence and everything, there hasn't been really a whole lot of violence on citizen, period. There's been some, but not a ton. And you got to remember, there's always some. So statistically speaking, it's a blip. It's not anything major or sustained. So I don't really worry that much about it. I just say always carry, and you're always prepared, and you don't have to worry about other things. Turkey or ground beef for taco meat? I tend to like turkey. It puts off less grease. Well, I like ground beef, but we use turkey now because we don't eat beef or pork in our house anymore. Don't want to eat animals that I think are cute and fuzzy. So I'd say turkey because we use it, and it does make less grease. Where am I at? I missed some chats over here. Hold on. Danny did a super chat here. It says, did you lose any subs like you predicted last night? I'll help you lick your wounds. No, it was today I said I would lose them after my video went live today. And I don't know what the reaction is yet. I haven't even looked at my subs or anything. But, let's see here. Where am I at? Open up my channel here. Where's my dashboard? Well, that ain't what I want. Here we go. Let's see here. Well, it looks like I got about the same amount of subs I had last night when I looked. So it doesn't look like there's been any negative effect. But then again, there's probably been new subs that have been countered by the people leaving. But I'm reluctant to really look at the thread right now because the video went live today. It's only got a few thousand views so far, which is about normal for my videos after about an hour and a half. But it's got, let's see, how many comments does it have? Let me look here. Okay, just to give you a reference, a video I filmed yesterday the video I put live yesterday that has about 30,000 views has 223 comments. The one that I put up today, which only has about 3,500 views, so, a lot less views, has just a little over 100 comments already. So even though it's got like a tenth of the views, it's got, a fifth of the views, it's got half the comments. So people are commenting at a higher rate, and that's usually not good. They're usually pissed. And like my videos for the last 4 days have had 98.7% approval, 99% approval, 98.2% approval. This one's got 95.3, so that means a lot of people are pissed. Only 5%, not even 5%, probably like 1% of the people who actually watch. Because you got to remember, people that are pissed are more likely to leave a comment or hit dislike than people who are not pissed off are likely to hit like or leave a comment. So it looks like it's causing a little bit of waves over there, but we'll see. It takes a while for these things. A lot of times I'll put up a video that I know people are going to find offensive, and the first day it's mostly my regular viewers watch it, so nothing much happens. But then someone else will say something about it, and people will come watch the second day, and then I'll get all the blowback from it. Peter D donated and says, a lot of people overlook 22 mag for shit at the fan. Got a savage bolt to action. Shoot wings off flies. 22 mag through the eye would take the fight out of you quick. Oh yeah, 22 Magnum will kill somebody. Headshot, decent range. Even at a distance, it'll kill somebody. There was a case in West Virginia once. I think it was in West Virginia. It was in some state I was living in at the time, where a kid got killed jumping on a trampoline in his backyard because one of his neighbors was shooting at the berm a half a mile from their house. It was like a half mile total distance, and they shot over the berm and hit him in the head while he was jumping on a trampoline. It's a weird story, but it was true. It was in the paper at least. Let's see here. Where am I? But yeah, I mean, people should have, it's a good option. Bum, bum, bum. I got a super chat coming in from Ryan Renard. Isn't that like the evil god of mischief or something? Renard. Have you heard of the movie Price of Freedom coming out July 7th? Watch the trailer. It's ridiculous. I don't think I've heard of that. Let me look up Price of Freedom movie so I can see what it is. Oops. Price of Freedom. It's not coming up with any. Oh, here we go. The Price of Freedom 2021 film. Where is it? The Price of Freedom 2021. Might be able to find it eventually. Here, hold on. The Price of Freedom. A look into the inner workings of NRA and its influence, featuring interviews with government leaders, NRA representatives, and people whose lives have been personally touched by gun violence. Sounds like a propaganda piece to me. Sounds like a propaganda piece. I got a super chat coming in from Frosty Deegs again. Best carry position for a man with a belly and a full-size 1911. Inside waistband or outside waistband, especially for concealed. I always say between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. I prefer outside waistband, but inside waistband fine too. But still, that's about it. Let's see here. Make sure I've got everything. I got that one from Peter D. I think I'm caught up. I got the Reynard one. And that name is familiar. I think that's like the god of mischief or something in some mythology. Why do I think that? I don't know why I think that, but da, 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 da. If four, whoops, jumped. If four Kimbers cost the same as one Dan Wesson, I would want four different Kimbers, each in a different caliber. It's not Dan Wesson. It's about two Kimbers for a Dan Wesson. It's like four Kimbers for like a Wilson Combat or a Nighthawk, custom Ed Brown. Because you can get a good Kimber. Let's see. Go over to Kimber.com. One of the few gun things that doesn't fill in automatically because I don't go look at their lineup very often. Kimber America pistols. Let's just look at like one of their 1911s. See what their cost is coming into it. Let's look at one of their popular ones like the stainless 2. That's a very popular one. Yeah, so you can get a Kimber for under $1,000. $972. And that's the retail. So you're probably looking at 8 something in a store. Whereas if you look at a Dan Wesson, to get a gun that's comparable, that has all the things this one has, which is night sights, front and rear serrations, blah, 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 the Heine sights, all that stuff, extended beaver tail. Let's go over and see what it would cost for a Dan Wesson, a similar Dan Wesson. Let's see. I'm looking. Let's find a similar Dan Wesson, which would be, not the Bruin or anything like that. The Guardian. Let's look at just a good sample. Well, there's their cheapest one, the Heritage, which might be maybe compared to this gun. Yeah, and even for their cheapest gun, their Heritage, which is their bare bones gun, that's not the cheapest Kimber that I selected. It's like $1,600 retail. So as you can see, a lot more money. Uh, and that's, but if you're matching one for one, you can usually get two Kimbers for what you get for a Dan Wesson, and four Kimbers for what you would give for a custom 1911. Let me find my place over here. So what you're saying is buy 20 high points. Just kidding. Hey, if it was end of the world type of situation, 20 high points would be awesome to have. Because think what you could trade a high point for to someone who had no gun. Someone who had no gun but 100 chickens. Just you'd probably get 3 or 4 chickens just for a high point. And you've given away very little, and you still got a lot more to give. Now there'll be some people will always be like, "Oh, if society collapses, you never want to trade guns or ammo over to anyone." That's ridiculous. Because they'll be armed and they'll come after you. If you think you can survive as the lone gunman during the collapse of society, you're going to be dead fast. You know why they find people that go off to live outside of society dead all the time? Because it's not very easy to do, and that's when you're by yourself. So if you're trying to do it with other people around you and they see that, hey, this guy's not being a part of the solution, he's being a part of the problem, and he's not helping anybody, you're going to make enemies. And you're not going to be very popular for very long, and you're not going to be able to survive on your own because no man is an island. Even if you're someone's like, I've got 100 acres and 20 heads of cattle and 20 milk cows and 100 chickens and blah, 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 and it's me and my son, and we'll be fine. Well, unless one of you is a doctor, first time one of you gets hurt, you're going to need somebody to help. And likely to get hurt. If just 2 people are trying to run a farm, you're going to get hurt. So, yeah, you can't be an island unto yourself. It ain't going to happen. I'm unsubbing for your opinions. Just kidding. Thoughts on an old Colt 38 Cobra snub-nosed nickel finish from 1969, just inherited from my grandma. Feels like the timing is off. Well, if the timing is off, get it fixed. You can send it to Colt; they'll fix it. But they're nice little guns, nice to have, especially if it would be rare if the nickel is still in good condition. But maybe if it is, awesome. Danny asked, if you got the death penalty, what would you choose for your last meal? I've already answered this, and I said I would want unicorn roast with dodo bird eggs, soft boiled on the side, and I'd be willing to wait until they could come up with it. If there was a time limit on you got to have something within the first hour, you got 2 hours to have something. What is it? I'm going to want a good southern fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy, flour gravy, the kind you make in the pan with the drippings. Probably corn on the cob and watermelon, and a Barks red cream soda to drink. Crooked cops will tell someone that they will look guilty to a jury if they refuse to talk to police. Well, tell them, hate to break it to you, but no, I'm not. No, only an idiot would talk to police, and my attorney will tell the jury that. FBI reported that a record high 300,000 background checks were denied, 42% because of felony convictions. How many were drug convictions, and how many of these checks were overturned? And how many of those felony convictions are false positives on a thing? They don't tell you that. I've been rejected before because of felony convictions, and it turns out it wasn't me. Someone had a similar name. So they get fault. That's, in fact, most of the times, even when they say this person has a felony conviction, if that person appeals, the vast majority of the time they win on appeal. So they don't have a good record for people who actually appeal. And you can't say what it would be if everybody who got denied appealed, but you can make a pretty good guess simply by the fact that the people who do appeal win at like a 95% rate, and most people who don't appeal just because they don't understand the process and don't know what to do. And the fact that people who are actually criminals who are denied to purchase a gun, they don't go to gun shops and fill out 4473s to be denied. So the statistics they throw out are pretty much garbage. So out of that 300,000 people, they may have stopped 100,000 uh, prohibited people from buying a gun. Most likely, they prohibited 200,000 legal citizens from exercising their rights. That's what they most likely did. Today's video hit the nail right on the head, I think. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to think that, though. It's not so well. I will get the brace and the people that are sucking at the teat of the big brace controversy that is not a controversy and not a actual thing. It's just to defend the corporations that make the product is all this all about. They whip the gun community into a fury to protect the interests of small group of people instead of actually defending the Second Amendment. But the thing about the National Guard, I'm sure it's going to piss some people off. Let's see, where was I at? I was going to say something. What was I going to say? I don't remember what it was. I was going to say something. What was I talking about before I read that? I was talking about something. What was I talking about right before? I hate when I lose my train of thought and I forget what I was talking about. You know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Oh, the background check thing's what we were talking about. Denying people on background checks. But now I still don't remember what it was I was saying. Yeah. But here's another thing about even if 100,000 of the people did have felony convictions, probably if they didn't think about it and they actually went to a gun shop and filled out the paperwork, probably something minor like in 1982 they had a possession of marijuana charge when they were 17 or something. And now they can't defend their family because of that, which is garbage. Garbage. Gun Library Garrett says, what was the thing you called yourself that wasn't a teacher or a trainer? I don't know what it was. I know what you're saying when I say I don't teach people to shoot or train them to shoot. I just tell them, I just give them the opportunity to shoot and let them learn. I just give them some advice, but I don't know how I worded it. I wish I could remember. Sometimes I say things that are quite profound, but then I can't remember what I said 5 minutes later. But I just basically made a point that I don't teach people to shoot. I just give them the opportunity to learn. And then I give them advice as they need it. Because I like most people, I think I'd much rather just have an opportunity to learn something than I do be taught it. And that's how I learned how to drive a car even. I didn't learn how to drive a car by being taught. I learned how to drive a car by my grandfather saying, take the little Toyota pickup, the pup, and go out in T&T and drive. And figure out what you have to do to back up and how to change the gears and all this other shit. He just gave me basic information like this is reverse and here's first, second, third, and fourth, and this is the clutch and blah blah blah. Which I knew most of that stuff already because I'd driven tractors and 4-wheelers and motors, and dirt bikes and stuff. But it's different than a car. It's clearly different. So I just went out and drove, and literally I probably learned more. I went out one day and drove, and I probably spent, oh my God, 15 hours that day just driving around in T&T, just loving every fucking second of it. Driving up and down the road, driving back out the dirt roads, driving all the way around to the backside and everything by myself. It was an amazing feeling of freedom. And I probably learned most of what I needed to learn that day. By the time I drove home that day, I could back up, I could park, I practiced parallel parking, straight park, I did everything. Learned it because I had the opportunity to learn it. I didn't need to be taught. Wasn't as nervous that way. Got a super chat coming in from Mr. Bean 54, Mr. Bear 5436, not Mr. Bean, Mr. Bear. How much did you give for your Springfield M06 survival rifle? Is it the 22 Hornet or 22 long rifle? It's the 22 long rifle, and I do not remember. I bought it from someone. Let me see if I can find the email. Subjects contain survival. me go all the way back to where it would have been when I got it. I bought it from a viewer, so I was wondering if maybe, what's the name of this thing? What is this thing? Was it like an M thing? M6 Scout. Oh, I couldn't remember that. Don't know why I couldn't. I can barely remember my name some days, but so that's why I couldn't remember it. But let me look for M6 Scout in my. I bought it from a guy named Bart Davis. Let me see where I can find where. Well, there's the bill of sale, so I can look at the bill of sale. Hold on, I'm opening the bill of sale. And why is it not? It's downloading. I'm downloading the bill of sale. Should already be downloaded. Why is it not downloaded? There's the pictures he sent me. $600 I spent for it. $600. I think that was total with shipping and with FFL and everything. So, so I don't know if that's a good price or not, but that's what I paid for it. It's stainless and it's cool, so I'm happy with spending $600 for it. Even if someone told me it's only worth $350, I'd be like, I'm fine. I wouldn't sell it for $350. So, let's see here. Where was I? Reynard the Trickster, a fox in mythology similar to Briar Rabbit. Yeah, I knew Reynard. I knew it was something to do like that. I knew the name seemed familiar. Is the 22 Charger considered an SBR? Not if it doesn't have stock on it. You could do a Kimber chart kind of like you did your 9mm ammo chart. 2 RIA, 1911 equal 2 Kimber, etc. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I don't know if I would use Kimber as my constant in a 1911 conversion comparison, but it would be a good place to start since it's a good quality gun with a lot of options. Let's see, where am I at? Why am I getting all this shit here? Hold on. I'm clicking on all the wrong things, but I got that answered, I think. Yeah, the Mr. Bear asked me about the how much I paid for the Scout. I wanted to make sure I answered that, and I did. Maybe you got the dementia. No, I don't have the dementia. I'm just absent-minded. Always have been. Always will be. I have a very good memory. Like if someone says, "Who was this and when was it?" I'll remember that shit. And I was always good in school because I memorized things very easily. But if I paid attention. But as far as just like keeping track of my thoughts in a line during the day, no, I'm scatterbrained when it comes to stuff like that. I have to really focus on stuff if I want to. Where am I at? Got my first revolver yesterday. Brought it out today, and I love it. EAA Windicator, but I didn't have any 357 rounds, only 38. We'll see when my other ammo gets here. Did you take pictures of the Windicator descend, or are you being a dick? Where am I at? Service to PayPal. What's that for? Oh, where I bought a graphic novel on Comixology earlier. Like, why are they charging me through PayPal? Whereas I bought a graphic novel on Comixology to read in the toilet. In the bathroom, I read. That's where I read. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm going to the bathroom to read. I don't even got to go to the bathroom. I'll go to the bathroom to read. It's where it's quiet. No one bothers me. There's a chair. There's a seat. The only person that bothers me is Maisie. She wants to come in there whenever you go to the bathroom. But I have on a swing arm on the wall an iPad, and when I just go to the bathroom, I just swing it around and watch it, read my comic books. People are like, you watch porn on it? No, I don't watch porn on it. I'm past that age of life. I wish I watched porn on it. I wish I had the desire. I mean, I'm probably younger. Bum, 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 bum. What would be a good 38 special for less than $400? Smith and Wesson 637. You can find them under $400 all the time. Fluffy scrambled eggs with rare bone-in ribeye and big slice of watermelon. Yeah, I like ribeye, but fried chicken I like better than ribeye. But I love ribeyes. Ribeye is my favorite steak. It's just that I've never wanted to hug a chicken, so I don't mind eating fried chicken. Cows are so sweet. And if you love them, they love you back, so I don't want to eat them. I mean, I want to, but I shouldn't. Got a couple pics of it. I'll email them to you. LOL, not going to send pictures of my target, though. I understand that. Well, you can always just go up with a pencil and poke holes in the target and take a picture. Who's going to know? That was from Bustin' Butts did that one. He sent us a super chat, got an entry into the friend drawing. 15 minutes till Never Enough Ammo's Guns and Geeks. It's actually like 13 minutes now because I was a little late getting to that. Melting snowflakes. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of snowflakes on the right and the left. The right loves to yell at people for being snowflakes, but as soon as you don't agree with them or you point out their hypocrisy, they don't like it. And I, like the hypocrisy of if the state ever surrounded a gun rally with the National Guard, gun people would be up in arms. They'd be throwing a fit. But every time they see a BLM rally, they're like, send in the National Guard. So I'm like, quit being a fucking hypocrite. Hello, Yankee. I would like to get a 327 PC, but I may carry 38 plus P in it. With the titanium silver need special care, or do you think it would be difficult to clean for later 357 uses? No, it'll clean fine. As long as you use the right process of cleaning it, you're going to have no problem. I think I got a super chat coming in. Hold on. Yeah, it was from Wild Bill. It says, for the pets and the vets. He got an entry into the friend drawing. Yankee's iPad has home remedies for constipation. No, I don't need that. At my age, you don't need that. At my age, you are either experiencing or recovering from or about to experience bouts of diarrhea. You have those small windows in between where everything's fine, but that's not the norm anymore when you're older. I've met people who don't even own a rifle who are pissed about not being allowed to have bump stocks. Yeah, I know. And it's not that I don't like bump stocks or pistol braces. You can have them if you want them. I think everyone should be allowed to buy them. But here's the thing. I think you should just be allowed to buy an automatic weapon or put a stock on your pistol. And if you could do that, why would you need a bump stock or a pistol brace? Those companies that make bump stocks and pistol braces would go out of business. And they know that. That's why it's important to them that the things stay illegal, that SBRs stay on the NFA and automatic rifles stay on the NFA so that they can sell their product that no one would need if they weren't on the list. So it's not in our best interest to spend all of our time and money fighting these things, but the gun organizations and the gun channels love to fight these things because there's money in it for them, and it protects the manufacturers who pay them. So that's what it's all about, and it's bleh. Mr. Bear 5436. Have you ever showed pictures of your grandpa's Colt single action army or Luger? I remember you talking about them a long time ago. I only have one picture of them, and it's my grandfather holding them, and you could barely tell what they are. And it's not a digital format. It's like a picture. Uh, it's not a Polaroid, luckily. It's actually a picture. I think it was taken with a 110 camera, but that's about the only picture I have. Yeah, I remember these are something that never ever actually came into my hands directly as an owner. They went into storage, and then I became custodian of the storage. Where am I at? I got a super chat coming in from Mike Thompson. I always think of machine guns when I hear his name. What's your favorite 10 millimeter? Ordered a Les Bayer Premier 2 with 6-inch slide and 10 millimeter. Well, that would definitely be towards the top. I love the Les Bayers. As far as which 1911 is my favorite 10 millimeter, because it'd probably be a 1911. I mean, there are other guns that are 10 millimeter, but I think we're talking 1911s here since you're talking Les Bayer. My Falcon from Nighthawk is probably my favorite, but also the long slide Bruin and Kodiak from Dan Wesson are freaking amazing. Kimber makes a double two-tone with a carry frame 10 millimeter. They also make a camp carry or something like that. That's freaking awesome. I think they make the Camp 9 more than anything else. But yeah, probably my Falcon is my favorite. But the Dan Wessons, especially the long slides and the Specialist, are fucking right up there. And I would love to have I'd love to have a Les Bayer Stinger. Is what I'd like to have from Les Bayer, but I would not turn down the Premier 2 with a 6-inch slide. Would not turn it down. Isosceles or Weaver stance, or even does it even matter? Well, it does matter because some people balance differently. People are shaped differently. A lot of people carry their weight in different places. A lot of people are men, a lot of people are women. Same stance not going to work for them. Different centers of gravity. So, you find what makes you comfortable. What makes it you most physically stable. I mean, you might have a bad knee, so putting your weight on that leg, a particular leg, might not work for you. So you've got to work it out for yourself. But those are good starting points. That's like when you teach someone to shoot, like I say, how I just show them and then let them learn. You can show someone, this is the Weaver stance, this is different, this is this stance, this is that stance, and then let them kind of work out how they stand. And then if you see them doing something particularly negative, like holding their elbows up like this or something, you can go like, maybe drop that elbow, or, don't rest that elbow on your hip, try that. But you let them find their way through. I got a super chat coming from John Mandrick. Are you doing anything special for Canada Day tomorrow? Probably go to the gun shop. Might even buy myself an RMR. Not an RMR, but a red dot. Probably a SIG red dot for the P2320 because I got the sights for it. But other than that, probably nothing special. But I mean, I guess now I have a good excuse to actually buy a red dot tomorrow. If it's Canada Day. It's my Canada Day present from the family. Gray Death donated to the Pets and Vets Fund, got entry in the friend drawing, and says, watched most of your new video. I liked it just fine. People need to stand up to the stupid NFA. Yes, they do. But right now the money is on preserving the NFA and allowing profitable workarounds. And that's not the fight we should be fighting. Because one, not only does it not solve the problem, it makes us look like a bunch of idiots. Because if I stuck that PTR in someone's hand right now, I'd be like, 90% of the people who looked at it would be like, what's that back part for? Well, you put it against your shoulder. No one would ever guess that's to go around your arm and be no, it's a work around the law. And most people would be able to see through that. So when we try to take that position that it's not, that makes us look like liars. or stupid, one or the other, and I don't want to look like either one. I don't need help doing either of those things. Don't need to be encouraged to do that by the gun manufacturers. There's two different expressions: fit as a butcher's dog, which means the dog avoids slaughter, and fat as a butcher's dog, meaning the dog gets the scraps. Well, I always thought fit as a butcher's dog just basically meant they get a lot of meat, so they're big and healthy. That's what I always thought fit as a butcher's dog meant. What lesson did you teach your boys that you wish you were taught growing up? I don't think I can narrow it down to one thing, but I know I was very much more with my kids of, it's okay to do your things your own way and to learn what's best and to make mistakes is okay. But it's better to come to me and ask me how not to make mistakes because I've probably made a bunch of mistakes in my life that weren't necessary. You don't have to make a mistake to learn. A wise man learns from his mistakes, but an even wiser man learns from the mistakes of others and never makes those mistakes. And it's one of the things I taught my kids. And when I was a kid, you weren't taught that way. You were taught shut up, do as you're told. Don't think for yourself. Don't do anything you're not supposed to do. If you fail, it's a horrible thing and you'll get yelled at. So that's one big thing I tell them is different. Where am I at? I think those 1,500 wolves that Idaho politicians want to kill should be relocated to northern Canada. Now, I think they should be relocated to the chamber for their Congress. And if they get in there and can do their jobs, it should be them against the wolves. Everyone who wants to kill them, just put them all together there in the building. No guns or weapons or anything. Just, okay, we're going to put you all together in one room, and we're going to come back in 24 hours. And if you all are still alive, we'll listen to your bill. But if you're not, or if you can actually stay in the room for 24 hours, you get to put your bill forward. If you ask to get out, no. Lots of oatmeal for breakfast solves the problem too. Too much causes the other problem. I like oatmeal. I have oatmeal quite often. I usually alternate between Cheerios with bananas in it and oatmeal as a breakfast cereal. I prefer to have Fruit Loops or Frosted Flakes, but can't have those. Those are bad, apparently. One of the side effects of taking metformin is diarrhea. Yeah, I know. When I first started, they gave me too much, and that was not fun. Made my stomach so upset. Now, as long as I take what I take, as long as I take it with food and I don't take it by itself, I'm fine. But if I don't take it with food, if I take it by itself, like if I've forgotten, then I have to take it before I'm leaving or something, my stomach's going to be crampy for the rest of the day. I'm going to feel mildly sick. As someone who's disabled, an SBR would be so much better for me than the silly strap-on I can't use peep sights on. Exactly, yeah. Just having an SBR would be much better. Much better. They should, if they're going to do anything, instead of saying, "Oh, these pistol braces are for handicapped people," at the very least, what they should have done is argued for an exception to the NFA for handicapped people. That you can have an SBR without a tax stamp if you're handicapped. If you're able to get a handicap sticker to park in a handicapped space, you can have an SBR. That would be the what they should have done at the very least. But that doesn't create a market for a new product that everyone can get a little bit of cash off of. I forget. I don't know where we're at. How much time do we have left? Oh, we're out of time. We've got like 30 seconds. It's almost time for Never Enough Ammo's show. So we ain't got a lot of free time here. Let's see here. I wanted to see something real quick. Yeah, I didn't know it was stainless. I wanted to show the picture of his revolver he sent. I didn't know it was stainless. I didn't know I'm trying to share the picture. Share screen. Window. There we go. There you go. There's a ZA indicator. Seems a lot better put together than what I remember them being. They still are a little different. They still use that kind of a charter arms kind of a design, like right here for the grip, for the trigger guard and stuff, and the slider release, but doesn't look too bad. I'll have to say that. Steve Stevens says, well, I made it here at a good time. Yeah, right in time to leave and go see Never Enough Ammo's chat. So everyone head on over to Never Enough Ammo's chat. I don't know if Earth A has put a link in yet. Has Earth A put a link in here? Also got another super chat coming in from Alexander Deifel, trying to be, I think, the last entry into the friend drawing for the month. For the pets and the vets, also, I think that the GOA is also pushing for bump stocks and braces because unlike the NRA, if they rid the NAFA, they empty their piggy bank. Well, that's what I said. That's one of the problems with the big national organizations whose only existence is fighting for gun rights. That if that becomes not an issue anymore, then who needs them? Someone's got me a little Munsters bucket car. Well, we don't got enough time right now, but Earth Day has the link in there for Never Enough Ammo's chat. Please all head on over there for more pro-gun voices and to continue your conversations among each other. So thanks everybody for coming. I just saw Cookie Crisp cereal at the store. The werewolf has been replaced by the Cookie Crook. Oh, well, it started off as Cookie Crook, and then it went to the werewolf, and then I guess it's back to Cookie Crook. Because when I was a kid, the commercials were Cookie Crook and his dog, or the policeman and his dog, or was it the dog, the Cookie Crooks? I can't remember. But thanks everybody for coming. I do appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, go over to Never Enough Ammo's chat, and I'll just say sayonara.